Hi guys, and thank you for tuning in with me, your girl Zesty and the Zesty Pooh crew. So today, y'all, we are making some Vietnamese beef pho. I love it. I have tried it over the last 2 years and I found a deep love for it. So this is the first time in Zesty history, in Zesty Kitchen's history, that I will be trying this. So I'm attempting it today. Y'all cut me some slack if I mess up. For those of you who are authentically inclined to make this dish, I'm going to do my absolute best. Let's get into this video. Alright guys, so basically these ribs have already been cleaned. And I'm just going to cut them up because beef ribs, this is just one rack of ribs. And this is all the meat you're going to need for your broth. Some people use beef shanks. I like beef ribs. You can use beef short ribs. You can use beef shank. And like I said, these are just the beef ribs, the big boys, and I'm just gonna cut them up, and I'm gonna boil these bad boys for 20 minutes. And what we're doing is we're really pretty much cleaning the bones before we get into actually boiling the broth for the pho. And the broth is really what makes the pho, so you're gonna see as we get into it. So you want to make sure that it's covered with water. And I'm going to boil these for 20 minutes, and then we're going to strain them out, and then we're going to get to the rest. Of ginger, I'm going to add some coriander. I'm going to probably put about, maybe about a tablespoon coriander. And the star of the show is star anise. Star anise, you can find it at most Asian markets. This is what we have, and it's usually dry. They have anise if you can't find star anise. I'm not sure the measurements. I had to order mine from Walmart. So I'm going to put about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do one more. About 7. And we're just going to toast the aromatics, and that's going to go in our broth. And also 1 cinnamon clove. So you have an onion, you have your ginger. And you don't want to burn them. You just want to char them. So that way you can open up your aromatics. So that way when you get that broth started, you're going to be good money. I'm going to put my beef broth in. And I have 2 of these. So this is 32 ounces of beef broth. And I have it on medium. Because you want to get it nice and simmery. You're not going to cover this pot. So altogether, I believe is what, 64 ounces. And if you don't have enough beef broth, you can add some water to it. It's no big deal. Alright, I'm putting the beef ribs back in here. And again, this is just 1 slab of those beef ribs. You can use beef short ribs. You can use beef shank. And actually, because it's not covering it, I'm going to add some more water. So I have 64 ounces of the broth. Let's see how much more water we're going to need. Alright, so this is about a cup more water. Alright, we got our aromatics nice and charred. Let's see, I'll get that onion a little bit more. And honestly, you can put it right on the eye of your stove. It's not going to hurt anything. For me, I just have it in a pan here. It's like so. Alright, aromatics in. And you're just going to dump them in there just like so. This smells so good, y'all. So to this, I have fish sauce, which I'm going to put about, maybe about 5 tablespoons in it. And you use it to your liking. Alright, so we're going to put about... I think I'm going to start out with about 5 tablespoons of fish sauce. 3, 4. Alright, and we're going to put about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Actually, just 2. Because I used the beef broth that was salted. I could not find unsalted. You don't want this to be too salty. Because remember I told you earlier, the broth is the star of the show. This is what's going to go over your noodles. So I'm going to put a good heaping tablespoon of brown sugar. I do not have raw sugar. I'm going to add a little bit more. So for me, I like mine just with a hint of sweetness. So I put a tablespoon and a half. And then I'm going to mix all this up. to get it going. And I'm going to check it again. And I'm going to say probably about 4 hours we're going to check it and see. And I have it on medium, so it's going to probably have a nice little light simmer. All right, so this is the steak. This is actually already tenderized. I bought it tenderized, and it's just literally a beef skirt steak. And we're going to put it in our cast iron. So let's start out with some onion powder. A little garlic powder. And you don't want to put too much on there because the pho is already seasoned. Put a little salt. This is just so it won't just be like just beef. And then a little pepper. Alright. Let's get started on the skirt steak. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil. Get my cast iron really hot. Alright, let's get it in here. Probably going to have to do it in a couple of batches. You don't want to overcrowd it because you don't want to steam the steak. I like mine with a nice char. And honestly, I'm probably only going to do like a minute or two on each side. I don't like my rare meat with the broth poured over it. Traditionally, a lot of Vietnamese pho comes with rare pieces of beef. And you just pour the broth over it. And it cooks it, but to me, I like mine cooked. Honestly, I thought I was going to have to do 2 minutes. Literally, I only am going to do 1 minute on each side. And it depends on how done you like your steak. Again, the broth, once you pour it over, it will cook it. So if you like yours medium well, I'm going to say about just literally in and out. And then once the broth comes over that meat, it's going to be medium well. And this is our first batch. All right, first batch up. This is our second batch, guys. So I'm just going to flip these over. I use the same pan. I didn't add any more oil to it. Alright. And after the steak bites are done, I'm going to show you how I season my broth after it has already been cooked and drained. Alright, so we're just going to drain it. Make sure you got a really good small drainer. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright guys, so I'm going to add just a tablespoon of brown sugar because I tasted it and honestly it tastes almost just like the local pho place. And I'm only going to add 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. So there we have it. I'm going to let it simmer a little longer. I have it on medium. Alright guys, so you remember that steak that we had earlier? I'm going to throw a couple of pieces on here. And this is my garnish plate. This is what I'm going to garnish it with after I put the broth on it. This is some cilantro, some lime, some regular onion, some jalapeno, and some bean sprouts. So I have added my broth. And now I'm just going to garnish our baby up. Now this is actually for my husband. I don't like bean sprouts in mine. You do not have to put bean sprouts. It will still be good. He likes the works. Put some jalapeno here. Give him some onion here. Oh yeah, load them up. And you know what? The lime, I'm just going to squeeze it in there. This is going to be bomb, y'all. Bomb.com. And he likes a lot of toppings, so I'm giving him all the I don't eat jalapenos in mine either. And he wants me to load it up. He said give him a fully loaded soup. I'm also going to put some of this garlic chili sauce in here. And this is just because this is what we like. I do eat this in mine. And also, I don't eat as many noodles in mine. And that's just because I like to try to keep my weight down. So I'm just going to put about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of the garlic chili sauce. And I love this. Oh, we got an onion trying to get away. And basically, you just mix this in. And to top it off, we use hoisin sauce. Hoisin sauce. I might be saying it wrong. And we like a good bit of that for flavoring. Squeeze it on in there. And y'all, this is one of the ribs that we cook the broth in. We eat everything. The only thing we don't eat is what we strain out. We don't eat the coriander and so forth. So this is our pho, guys. When y'all coming through, when y'all coming through. Look at this, look at this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And for the future, you'll see me eating this after the fact. But because we just moved into our apartment and we're still doing everything that we need to do, you won't see me eating this today. So if you like what you've seen today and you want more of what I have to give, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Oh, one thing. I didn't put the pickled onions. We worked so hard. We deserve these pickled onions, guys. So you know the 3 things. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and until next time, continue to love out loud. I love each and every one of you, and have a wonderful evening.